Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering, to those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
So if I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle's right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you're the type who's capable of, just putting your head on the pillow and going to sleep after, a late night that didn't end the way that you wanted it to. Because if you're a Grizz fan, that's probably what you experienced last night in your home, perhaps even in your bed. Grizz had a lead in the fourth quarter, but the other team had LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and that's often a problem. It was a problem last night. We'll talk about it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. Mike Wallace is a senior editor, Grind City Media. He was inside Crypto.com last night for the Lakers' victory over the Grizzlies. He's going to join me this morning live from Los Angeles. He's getting up. He's 2 hours behind us, but he's going to get up anyway. That's why he's our best employee over here at Grind City Media. Mike Wallace is going to be here in about 20 minutes. When I finish talking to him, we'll take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know. At which point, we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, Giannis. Antetokounmpo has figured out how to get the Bucks back to their winning ways. Just do it himself. Greek Freak got 59 points last night against Detroit. They won in overtime after Ron Holland, the rookie, missed a couple of free throws in the final second. Yuck. He had nervousness written all over his face. We'll show it to you in about 40 minutes. Victor Wembanyama became the 4th youngest player in NBA history to score 50 points last night. I'll tell you how he did that a little later on in the show. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul had their final press conference before tomorrow's fight inside AT&T Stadium. Big crowd is expected. I'll tell you how big in the third segment. A small town in Alabama is under fire for painting its water tower to look like Rocky Top. It's not going over well.
Okay.
Somebody didn't think this through. We'll show it to you in the second hour. And a new study is suggesting that using abbreviations in text messages, as opposed to like spelling out all the words, makes you come across as insincere. I'll see what Bennett thinks about that. We'll do it during a segment we call 5 more things you need to know. And then we'll eventually do GP's carry out and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, but I did want to start with your Memphis Grizzlies because Game 12 was scheduled 82. It was played last night inside Crypto.com Arena. Fun game, I guess. Grizz actually had a lead heading into the fourth quarter. They were up by a point with 6:16 left in the game. But as one would assume, things tend to get hard when you're still down 3 starters. So ultimately, the team with LeBron James and Anthony Davis was able to pull away in the closing minutes. They outscored the Grizz 37-27 in the fourth and secured a 128-123 victory that pushed the Lakers to 7-4 overall, 6-0 at home this season. The Grizz still without John Morant, Desmond Bane, Brandon Clark, Vince Williams, Gigi Jackson, and Cam Spencer. They're now 7-5 heading into tomorrow night's game in San Francisco against the Golden State Warriors. Big Bet Bennett, we didn't go final last night until nearly midnight. Did you make it to the last buzzer?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, it was a good game. I watched the whole thing.
My eyes closed for a minute, like early in the third, but then I rose.
No, I was locked in.
I woke up and I rose, and I was there till the end.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could
took a break in the middle.
I think you could look at it as like one of two ways last night. Like one, you're missing, 2 starters and your best player, and
technically 3, given that Brandon Clark had been starting.
Oh yeah, he had been starting. That's right. And you took that team to the brink, and they had their full complement of players, right? And LeBron had a triple double,
which they'd get hurt every once in a while.
Right. And AD's been great against the Grizzlies. But on the other hand, I think you could also look at it like it just depends on how you want to spin it. If you're a Grizzlies fan, you could look at it as, man, they let that one get away. Like they should have had that one, and you would have had like the vibes would have been immaculate if they would have gotten that game last night. And they had a chance.
They definitely
so
had.
I'm still encouraged.
They had a chance, sure. When you're up a point with roughly 6 to play, you've got a chance. When you're in a 1-possession game in the final minutes, you've got a chance. But I don't know that you could say, I wouldn't say at least, that they let one slip away. Because even if you're up by a point with 6 to play, they still got LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and your best players are over here on the street in street clothes and or in uniform, still eligible to play, but not on the court for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So I don't know that they let one slip away as much as they were in it and had a chance. But at the end of the day, the team with LeBron James and Anthony Davis won, and that's the way that is supposed to go.
The only gripe I would have, and I saw a lot of people saying this last night, and I agree because we've talked about this before, is Anthony Davis had 5 fouls, and Jaren didn't come back into the game until it was, I think, a 6-point lead for the Lakers. And I just would have, because he also had 5 fouls, I just would have played Jaren until he fouled out. Because you get that Anthony Davis foul, and I know LeBron was cooking, but AD is like Grizzlies kryptonite. You get that Anthony Davis foul and he fouls out, I think you got a really good chance there.
Jaren was attacking him the entire second half. And
Edey played well against him too. He fouled out later. Yeah.
But it's just sort of a difference in philosophy. You have one coach who decided my best big's got 5 fouls. He needs to come out of this game right now. And at basically the exact same time, J.J. Redick was saying my best big's got 5 fouls. I'm putting him back into the game right now and letting him play through this. So just a difference in approaches. We'll get back to that in a second. LeBron and AD did take over in the fourth. They combined for 20 of the Lakers' 37 fourth-quarter points. LeBron, your king, finished with 35 points, 14 assists, 12 rebounds. You know what they call that, don't you?
That is a triple-double.
It was his third straight triple-double, making LeBron James at the age of 39 the oldest player in history to ever have 3 straight triple-doubles in the NBA. The king
beating out LeBron James.
He's one of one.
Yeah.
He's one of one. He spent 37 minutes on the floor, meaning that LeBron played at least 4 more minutes at the age of 39 than every member of the Grizzlies last night. Like you mentioned, Jaren Jackson Jr., he did pick up that 5th foul with 6:01 remaining. Just to walk us through what you were touching on. At that point, the Grizz are down 107-106. 1-point game. Jaren exits. And by the time he comes back, like you said, it was exactly 2 minutes and 3 seconds later. The Grizz were down 6 points, 116-110. They never got closer than 3 points again. Nitpicking, perhaps, I acknowledge. But I don't love watching games slip away in the fourth with your best healthy player on the bench. You're just never going to get me to subscribe to that.
Especially in that situation when you're so up against it, right? It just feels like a free shot, right, in that game last night.
It's one thing if you think Jaren's got 2 fouls with 6 minutes to go and you can pull him for a 90 seconds or 2 minutes because you've got John Morant and Desmond Bane. You don't have John Morant and Desmond Bane.
Right.
Jaren Jackson Jr. is your best option available last night to try to go get a victory that you're not supposed to get, but that is gettable with 6 minutes to go. Mm-hmm. And you remove him from the game, and by the time you bring him back, you're down 6. Only 2 minutes. I get it. But the Lakers did extend their lead in those 2 minutes and ultimately escaped with the victory. On the season now, LeBron is averaging 35 minutes per game at the age of 39. Anthony Davis is averaging 34.8. Nobody on the Grizzlies is averaging more than 30.1. Jaren Jackson Jr. is only averaging 28.2. This isn't some earth-shattering revelation, but, just in the simplest of terms, it's harder than it should be to win when the other team's best players are always spending more time on the court than your best players, especially when most of your best players aren't even available to begin with. Think of this from an NFL perspective. Imagine if this Sunday, big game, right? Chiefs-Bills, America's most watched network of stars. Chiefs-Bills. Imagine if Josh Allen was allowed to play every series, but Patrick Mahomes was only on the field for like 85% of them. That's advantage Bills, right?
Yes.
Right. So I know there's a long-term plan in place here, but the long-term plan does complicate your short-term goals because there's multiple times already this season. We've only played 12 games. There's multiple times already this season where the Grizzlies have either watched a lead disappear in the fourth while their best players are on the bench, or have watched a manageable deficit grow bigger in the fourth while their best player is on the bench for whatever reason. That gets frustrating after a while. I would imagine frustrating for me.
Yeah.
Nitpicking, I acknowledge, but it is a thing that is happening. And it's not a thing that other teams do as consistently as the Grizzlies do it. And it's not something, you ready for this, that the Lakers did last night in a very similar set of circumstances.
It's true.
Both teams' best bigs had 5 fouls with roughly 6 minutes to go. Mm-hmm. One team decided to let their big play through it, the other one didn't. The team that let their big play through it won the game. The team that didn't.
There was some good news last night, by the way.
Tell me what it was.
Shams reported that Ja's going to get reevaluated again this weekend. But he also added, I thought this was a good line, that the Grizzlies aren't overly concerned that it's a long-term issue.
Right.
So that was pretty good to see.
I'd rather hear that than the alternative.
Yeah, that was pretty good to see.
I'd rather hear
because,
that.
listen, we were coming out of the, when we got the report over the weekend, when we got the Grizzlies PR email, it was like, okay, good. He didn't break anything. Like, this seems, everything seems okay. And then like Vernon came on and was like, I didn't feel as positive as other people did, just because it was week to week. It was a little vague. Like, there wasn't an exact timetable put on it. So you never know. So to see Shams say that the Grizzlies aren't overly concerned, I thought that was great.
Yeah. I mean, the truth is, when it comes to injuries here, they're overly cautious and intentionally vague. So it's hard to ever know exactly what's going on. I mean, it was a little more than a year ago where we spent an entire offseason thinking Steven Adams was going to be your opening night center. And then, in the preseason, it's like, oh, no, he still can't play. And he never plays for the Grizzlies again. Right. So you just, you never know. But, yeah, I'd rather hear that report. How about this? There's 2 reports. One would be the Grizzlies aren't concerned that this is a long-term issue, and the other one would be the Grizzlies are concerned this could be a long-term issue. I'd rather hear the first one than the second one. Yeah. So, yeah, that was good news. I guess if you're looking for more good news, Jalen Wells wasn't good from the perimeter last night, but he still shot 50% from the field while starting as a second-round pick inside Crypto.com arena against 2 of the best players that have ever lived. He didn't look out of place. It wasn't his best performance, but he didn't look out of place. Zach Edey, I thought looked good, came off the bench, played 26 minutes, 12 points, 8 rebounds, got a block.
I thought he looked really good last night.
And this comes, you sent me this morning after NBA.com updated its Rookie of the Year ladder, which is updating every week. And once again, the top 2 players on that list were Memphis Grizzlies. This time, Jalen Wells at 1, Zach Edey at 2. My buddy Sam Vecini over The Athletic also does Rookie of the Year rankings in the NBA. He's got it the other way. Zach Edey at 1, Jalen Wells at 2. But it seems to be a consensus right now.
Crazy.
The best two rookies in this 2024-25 season have been Zach Edey and Jalen Wells, two Grizzlies in some order. And that is awesome because it suggests that the scouting department, the front office, the people who job and livelihood it is to make decisions like this, evaluate, make decisions, and then develop. Everybody that plays a role in that, it suggests that they're doing their job well. So that's wonderful. The other thing this is it's just a reminder that the season is not going the way it was supposed to go. Because you ready for this? Zach Edey might still be exactly what he's been if everybody were healthy. We shouldn't even know if Jalen Wells is any good or not yet.
No, it's a fair point, yes.
We shouldn't even know. So I love seeing that Jalen Wells is ranked number 1 at the NBA's Rookie of the Year rankings. I hate that we know that he's good because we shouldn't. It's the exact same thing as last season. We should have never found out GG was good. We should have never found out Vince was good. It's a blessing that we did because then you know what you got, lock them up on multi-year small contracts, and they now project as role players. But the only reason we went through that is because everything went wrong, and now here we are again, not doing the same thing, but, buddy, it doesn't feel as bad. I don't want to overstate it.
It doesn't feel as bad.
But it's not great. And it could get a little bumpy here because you've seen the schedule.
I've seen the
schedule. You know what's coming
next.
That's
why I really wanted to get that one last night because, I mean, you're Friday night in Golden State, and I believe they're undefeated at home as well. That's going to be really tough.
I heard they're going to have a tribute video ready.
Are they for who?
Santi.
A Santi tribute video?
Yeah.
Just
welcome him.
Just welcome back.
Just good to see you again.
Yeah. It'd probably be as good as the Clay video was.
They clearly took like 20 minutes to throw together the Klay Thompson video.
Right. That's right.
They can spend 10 on Santi's and have him a nice video ready to go on Friday night. But no, in all seriousness, you're about to run into, MVP Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors, who, by the way, are like one of the best teams in the league. It's not just the Steph Curry and the old Warriors. Remember when they used to be good? Like they are good right now.
Yes.
And then after that, as you know, it's Jokic and Jokic. You get a double scoop of Nikola Jokic, who is playing perhaps better than he's ever played.
That's insane.
And he's won 3 MVPs already.
I'm looking forward to that game. That's on Sunday. I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, so what's next is at Golden State on Friday, tomorrow. And then the Nuggets at home on Sunday, Nuggets at home on Tuesday. Then Joel Embiid comes in on
maybe.
I mean, he'll be here.
I think so. Maybe.
I think he'll be here, but who knows if he'll play.
Hopefully he'll make the trip.
But the Grizzlies are in a stretch right now. Lakers, Warriors, Nuggets, Sixers. The Grizz are in a stretch right now where they're playing 5 straight games against theoretical contenders.
Yes.
Led by former MVPs.
That is not I don't like the schedule makers for that one.
I don't like what they did.
Could they not have come on. If you're a schedule maker, you look at that and say, should we really be letting them play 5 straight against former MVPs? That seems
Seems too much.
That seems a little cruel.
They say God won't ever put too much on you.
Right.
That you can't handle, which, by the way, is a crazy thing that people say.
What was it again?
Here's what people try to tell you. They walk out of church. You know what they try to tell you?
What?
They say, God will never put more on you than you can handle. You've heard that. They say, God wouldn't put more on you than you can handle.
I don't subscribe to that.
I drive to work every day. I see people God has put way too much on.
Yeah.
They're standing at a stop sign asking me for money.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Yeah, God has put way too much on that person.
Right.
But that's what they say. They say God will never put too much on you. More than you can handle. God wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah.
But I feel like in this case, God is the NBA. If God were the NBA schedule maker, he might have put too much on us.
I think so too. Hey, by the way, Sunday's game against the Nuggets. Let me put on my Mike Wallace hat real quick.
Okay.
Because I've got something to show you.
Oh wow.
Sunday.
You're really getting into this.
Sunday. I know. I love it when they give me stuff to show off.
I guess so.
Sunday, the Grizzlies will be debuting their newest City Edition jerseys.
Yeah.
And I gotta say.
Okay. Look at that.
That's pretty sick, right?
They gave
there.
you that, Bennett?
That's
yours?
Somebody gave this to me, and they didn't say I couldn't keep it.
Bennett, you should
Somebody
keep that.
put this in my hands.
Who put that in your
Look
hands?
at that. CJ just brought it in here.
Okay, good.
I'm keeping it.
That's CJ. He's always leading with his heart, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
He was
He's
at
a great dude.
He was at the polls last week. This week he's giving you shirts. Man, I had something for you too, and now I feel like I can't even give it to you.
I like this.
I had something for you too.
You got
and now
something for me? What'd you got for me? You got me some. I know what you got me. Look at that. That's sharp. It's like a new. Oh, it's the Ghost Toast.
I got you a Ghost Toast.
I got a new jersey. I got a new City Edition jersey. I got some Ghost Toast. Life is good.
My mother actually bought this for you. I didn't. My mother not only she went into the store,
I would look
purchased
cool in
this for you, put a Post-it note on it, and said, "This is for Bennett," and she set it on my desk at my home.
I love that. Your mom's the best. Thank you so much.
Yeah. That's a Ghost Toast. That's a king size Ghost Toast.
Ghost Toast.
Yeah. And the whole time I was like, man, I'm gonna be walking into the studio on Thursday. I'm gonna hand Bennett a king size Ghost Toast, and he's gonna feel loved. Mm-hmm. And now you're over there in a John Morant throwback jersey.
Well, for me, like I liked the old Memphis Sounds jerseys that they did when they did the throwbacks, but the blue trim just adds something to it. The blue trim is everything. It screams Grizzlies. Screams Grizzlies.
I like uniform when there's sometimes like one little weird color in there that doesn't look like it's supposed to be there, but it just works.
It just fits.
Like if you look at the Dodgers uniforms, they got that white and blue. When you think of the Dodgers, all you think about is white and blue, isn't it? Maybe gray, but white and blue.
Yeah.
And yet, if you go look at those Dodgers uniforms, you know what color the numbers are? Red, for reasons that don't make any
Doesn't make sense to me.
But it looks good.
Those will be available in the Grizzlies Den on Sunday, so you better get your ass here early if you want one.
Bennett said, get your ass here early. Tickets available, Grizzlies.com. The MVP's coming to town. Just to wrap this up before we get to Mike Wallace.
For 2 games in a row?
That's right.
Yep.
Like, it all feels fine now because, like, hey, they're still 7-5. And,
right.
you know, it's not a long-term concern. But this whole 7-5 thing could flip to, like, 8-8. You know, it could flip to 7-9 pretty quickly.
Yeah, you need to get one of these, like, that you're not going to be projected to win, probably.
I say tomorrow night in Golden State. That'd be the most fun.
That'd be so much
that
fun.
Would be the
I
most
would love
fun.
that.
Do
I
it for
would
Clay.
love that. Yeah.
Do it for Clay.
National TV, I'd love it. Yeah.
Show Klay Thompson what a real organization
Do it for Clay.
would do if they had a 4-time world champion coming back as a visitor. Wouldn't it be nice to ever have a 4-time world champion coming back to visit? Can you imagine? That'd mean we got to do 4 championship parades. Wouldn't that be something?
I'd love that. I'd give anything.
We're going to San Francisco tomorrow night. We're going to show the world what an organization that does proper tribute videos. We're going to show them how they operate on a Friday night.
Yes, we are.
I don't know if that's true, but it'd be
so.
it'd be a fun way to spend Friday night. Mike Wallace was at Crypto.com last night watching the Grizz and the Lakers. Saw LeBron James get his 3rd straight triple-double and make history. He'll join me next from Los Angeles. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
I have not talked to you since we got the big fella that's going to go next to you. What has impressed you about him, though? Just being on the same court with him, because you've watched him a lot in college. You got to see him. We got to see him very, very little in summer league.
Very quick twitch, like decision making. Yeah. No real fear of anything. Like very vocal, able to talk through the game. But I mean, like, do win Player of the Year twice. Like
I know.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
There's no greater gift in the NBA right now than the gift of Ja Morant highlights. The highlight of Ja Morant going reverse 360 generated 161 million views in the first 24 hours.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals takes it straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rate.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. I'm in the Bill Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. And Mike Wallace, my colleague at Grind City Media, he's out in Los Angeles, where he was inside Crypto.com Arena last night for the Lakers' 128-123 victory over your Memphis Grizzlies. Mike Wallace, even though he's 2 hours behind me, he's joining me now. I appreciate you getting up. It's 8:26 out in Los Angeles. I was up at 8:26 in Memphis, so I shouldn't make it bigger than it is. But still, I appreciate you being awake this early.
Yeah, don't give me too much credit for that, man. You know how we are with kids and drop-offs and all of that. We're up this time of day anyway, but always good to be with you, man.
So last night, the Grizzlies are obviously shorthanded again. Undeniable underdogs, 2 of the best players in the history of the sport on the other side, and yet they're up a point with like 6 to go in the game. Ultimately, LeBron and AD took over. They scored 20, combined to score 20 points in the fourth quarter. Just what'd you make of what LeBron and AD did in, say, the fourth quarter of a game that helped them improve to 6-0 this season inside that building?
LeBron was pretty consistent throughout the game, man, and he was just a matchup nightmare. The way he's shooting the 3-ball right now, that's just something that's different for him. Marcus Smart talked about that after the game, is that, LeBron for 15 years was just bulldozing his way. You couldn't stand in front of him. But now in this latter stage of his career, his accuracy on shooting the 3-ball, it's just there's no defending that when he's that size and that skilled. Anthony Davis woke up. He battled foul trouble all the way through. I got to credit J.J. Redick for managing, Anthony Davis throughout that game to make sure he was still available. But don't forget Dalton Connect, man. That was a guy that really came through with back-to-back threes at a time when the Lakers needed to make that run and eliminated the Grizzlies' 9-point lead at that time, 7-point lead late in the third, going into the fourth. So, it was a team effort for the Lakers, and the Grizzlies, they learned a lot from that game. They learned a lot, especially without having Ja Morant and Desmond Bane on the floor. That gave these guys a lot to break down and go into. It's going to get tougher from here on out when you look at the schedule as well.
On Dalton Connect, he was 7 of 8 from the field, 5 of 5 from 3. LeBron talked about it after the game. He said something along the lines of, we just let our first-round pick take over. They didn't just let him take over. He made some shots, but they believe in him and trust him, and that seems pretty clear already.
It does. And you know that, when these teams meet now, there's always these underlying storylines. And there's bad blood between the Grizzlies and the Lakers, no question about it. These teams don't like each other. LeBron and AD feel like the Grizzlies are still a little bit disrespectful and out of their lane and out of their place because they hadn't really accomplished much yet. And the Grizzlies are feeling like, hey, this is the team that dealt us so much misery in the playoffs a couple years ago. In order for us to take that next step, we got to be able to vanquish these guys and take care of that demon. But for Dalton Connect, and specifically, that guy was 1 for 10, 1 for 8, something like that last week when they played in Memphis. He didn't have a great game at all. So he definitely was motivated to come back and deliver. And he delivered. He delivered in some big moments right there.
Back to LeBron, gets a triple-double last night. It's his 3rd straight. He becomes the oldest player in NBA history to ever have 3 straight triple-doubles. He played 37 minutes, was 13 of 22 from the field. I think we all assumed he would probably still be playing at this age. I think fewer people assumed he would be this effective at this age. Yeah. He is still operating at 39, and he'll be 40 later this year, next month. He is still operating at a level where it's not it's hard for me to imagine him being in Game 7 of the NBA Finals with this team. But if he were in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, even at the age of 40, I think he could take it over and be the best player on the court. How do you make sense of that?
There is no denying that. I totally, absolutely agree. And, it's not like we've seen great athletes get older, and we saw them have to adjust certain levels of their game. You know what I mean? We saw, Hakeem Olajuwon wasn't as crafty and explosive around the basket as he got older. We saw how Magic Johnson went from point guard to power forward. And we've seen even Michael Jordan for the most part, even though he was remarkable at age 38, 39, played all 82 games his last year in the league. But what LeBron is doing is, he's just dominant at every level. Like, he's completely taken over different stages of the game when he wants to, and he still has that explosive athleticism around the rim. He made 2 or 3 dunks last night that made you just scratch your head in terms of how he exploded to the rim. So I can't make sense of it. He's a freak of nature. He spends $1.3 million on his body every year, from conditioning to therapy to all of the things that it takes to get him ready. His training team has been there from day one. He's just done it the right way, and he's been able to stay relatively injury-free. And you hope that continues to be the case for him.
Back to the Grizzlies. Marcus Smart played for the first time in, I believe, 7 games last night. He came off the bench, which is something is not normal for him. It's the first time he's done it since 2021, back when he was still with the Boston Celtics. He played 23 minutes, got 15 points. What did you make of Marcus Smart returning to the rotation last night?
I thought he gave him a pop. I thought that first shift that came in, it was Marcus Smart and Zach Edey came in the game at the same time. They were the first 2 subs off the bench, and in the first half, they were a +12 and a +9. So they changed the momentum of that game after the Grizzlies got off to a sluggish start. You can dissect that and say, well, maybe that tells you that maybe those 2 guys should have been in the starting lineup as opposed to Taylor tinkering a little bit. But that's what Taylor Jenkins has done. He made it a point. He said, I'm still exploring and experimenting, especially with some key guys out and trying to figure out what lineups work. Well, he found out pretty quickly that having Marcus Smart back on the floor was a plus decision when it came to that. So as Marcus said after the game, man, look, that's something new for me. He was real curt and real specific about his desire to want to be a starter. He didn't say it in so many words, but he's not used to coming off the bench, and that's going to be something that is going to have to be an ongoing development with the Grizzlies to see where it works.
Given everything we've been through the past year plus, this would be a welcomed problem. But can you envision a issue where suddenly Grizzlies PR is sending clean updates heading into games, and mostly everybody is available? I know it's hard to imagine, but just daydream with me for a second. And mostly everybody's available. Everybody can't play, and that means guys who have been playing meaningful minutes and playing well will have to be not only on the bench, but completely out of the rotation. How difficult, if at all, is that going to be for Taylor and his staff to juggle?
Their winning is not going to be difficult at all. It just isn't. Zach Edey has had to go through it already through his first 12 games. Lottery pick come in starting your first few games, and then you go to the bench and you see Jay Huff in the starting lineup, a guy that was on a 2-way when training camp opened. So you got to set your egos to the side. It's easier to do that when you're a rookie because you have to than when you're Marcus Smart, who's a decade plus into his career. But I do think that if all things are even, and you talked about a clean injury report, this team goes back to its original starters, and that was Ja, Dez, Marcus, Jaren, and Zach Edey, if that's what Taylor Jenkins wants. I think that will continue to be the case. And then you factor out, okay, what's going to happen when Vince Williams Jr. comes back and G.G. Jackson comes back? Those are the problems in terms of what that second unit is going to look like, more so than what the starting unit is going to look like.
Part of the experiments is moving Zach Edey, as you noted, from the starting lineup to a reserve role. He's come off the bench now, I believe, 3 straight games. He's still playing similar minutes. Last night was actually up to 26, in part because Brandon Clark was sidelined. But these two sentences don't usually go together. Zach Edey was starting and was the best rookie in the entire NBA, and now he's coming off the bench. I understand it. It's about matchups and lineup combinations, but it's still an unusual thing for somebody to be playing well and then lose a starting spot. And I use the word lose, liberally. What do you make of that decision and how it's going?
You know what? I don't necessarily understand it from the standpoint of why it had to happen this way. People that are making these decisions are trusted way more and making way more money and influence than I am. I'm not saying that it's the wrong move. I do think the Grizzlies really want to give Brandon Clark an opportunity to really show that, what they can do. What Taylor said, and this was his definition. I'm glad you asked that because it made me remember why he said he was doing it this way. He felt like Scottie Pippen and Brandon Clark were a better combination in the starting lineup in moments where he's going to start Scottie Pippen. And he felt like that gave him someone that he can run with, change the pace with, and get up and down with. That was his decision. Like, that was the explanation. Zach Edey came into that game and immediately had an impact as well. So maybe he could have done that with Scottie Pippen. So I do think there's still some searching. There's still some things going on, with figuring out who gets what and who earns what and how they want to showcase certain guys in certain lineups. But at the end of the day, you're right. Zach Edey was playing well as a starter, and I think Zach Edey's going to play well regardless of what role that he's going to be, whether off the bench or in the starting lineup.
On yesterday's injury report, Vince Williams was moved up from out to doubtful. Still did not play, but the way this organization usually does things, it at least serves as an indication that he might play tomorrow night in San Francisco. Do you expect to see Vince Williams tomorrow?
I do. I know he wants to play. I had a chance to talk to him after his workout, and just seeing him around, at the team hotel and in the arenas. He's putting all the sweat equity in to make sure that he's available. He looks good. He looks physically ready to go. And that's another question. It's like, okay, once you add him back into the mix, then what happens to the next, set of guys, coming off the bench? Are you going to still see a Jake LaRavia? Because if you're going to say Vince Williams is healthy and he's available, you have to give him moments in games to show where he is. And that means that some other guys aren't going to be able to play. Now, theoretically, that looks like it's going to probably take like a John Conchar out of the mix. It's going to take, potentially LaRavia's minutes are going to be different. But even LaRavia, when he's out there, he's playing so hard and so well, it's going to be hard to keep him off the bench, off the floor as well. Marcus Smart is now back in the mix too. So that's going to be a juggling act that Taylor Jenkins and his staff is going to have to sort through. And it can happen as soon as tomorrow against the Warriors.
Wrapping up here with Mike Wallace from Grind City Media. He's in Los Angeles. He was at Crypto.com Arena last night for the Lakers' 128-123 victory over the Grizzlies. Last thing before I let you go, Bronny James was in uniform last night, did not enter the game, but he has made more big headlines this week because there are reports that indicate even though he will spend a lot of time with the South Bay Lakers in the G League, he is not going to travel to road games with the G League team. Obviously, everything about the Bronny James situation is unusual. This is another example of it, and one that seems even more controversial. Like, what are you exactly? Are you part of something or not? What do you make of? You've been around this league a long time. How do you think that's going to go?
It's basic manipulation of again, we know what it is. We knew what it was when he got drafted. We knew what it was when, Rich Paul and those guys talked about how anybody who was going to draft Bronny, he wasn't going to show up. Well, I don't know if there was a long line of teams that were just going to draft Bronny no matter what from that standpoint. We knew what this always was. And now, what this is look, he's on a 4-year standard NBA contract. He's not on a two-way. If he's on a two-way, then you say, okay, yes, he has to be down there developing. But he's a roster player for the Los Angeles Lakers. So he gets a little bit more carte blanche when it comes to those kind of decisions, with him and his father making a lot of that. You know what I mean? So is it going to help him develop and become a better player by going down to the G League for road games, more so than staying in practices when the Lakers do practice? I don't know. That's a great question to ask. But we know what it is, man. This is he's entitled to this position, and he's in it. And now they just have to live with it. It's a roster spot. I hope that he does get an opportunity to show what he can do, because that puts a lot of pressure on the young man. But it is convoluted. It's complicated. But at the end of the day, we know that it's LeBron James and his group driving every decision that goes on with Bronny.
That is Mike Wallace, live from Los Angeles. He was inside Crypto.com last night for Lakers Grizz. I want to confirm, you're headed to San Francisco next?
Yes. The team stayed over in L.A. Tonight, and the team flies out this afternoon to get to San Francisco. So, yeah, I'll be there next. Yep.
Be inside the Chase Center tomorrow for Grizzlies Warriors. You can check all his work out, grindcitymedia.com. Follow him on X, @MyMikeCheck. That's @MyMikeCheck. Thank you for being here, buddy. Get some rest, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Hey, absolutely. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, brother. That's Mike Wallace, Grind City Media. Bennett, what do you make of the reports? Bronny James is going to play for the South Bay Lakers, but not road games. He's just staying at home.
I just tend to agree with what Mike said. Like, we don't have to sit here and pretend like this isn't some unique situation that is exclusive to the Lakers franchise, right?
It's
it's different. And we'll see. He has not shown anything to suggest that he is a guy that's going to play real NBA minutes yet. But that could change. I don't know. I think that there probably is some benefit because he's on the standard contract to actually being with the team as opposed to just playing all of his games in the G League. But he definitely needs development. We know that.
I don't care. It's none of my business.
Yeah.
And it is exactly as Mike described. It is what it is. If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck and all that other stuff like a duck, it's a duck. I can't imagine how this is beneficial. I can't understand how anybody thinks this is a good idea. At some point, you're not a part of anything.
No, it's true. You're not playing basketball.
Well, you're on the Lakers, but everybody in that locker room, other than LeBron, deep down knows you don't belong here.
Yeah, you're not going to play.
You don't not even you're not going to play. You don't belong here.
Right.
All right. They all know that. They can love him and want to help him and be encouraging and supportive and be a great teammate, but they all know you don't belong here, and the only reason you are here is because your dad's right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So we've already had multiple NBA players just get caught on camera.
That's right.
Saying, he's not an NBA player. They're just lip reading, and everybody's commentary on Bronny is exactly the same other than LeBron's and Rich Paul's. So everybody in this locker room thinks you don't belong there. And what do you think the South Bay locker room's like?
Yeah.
Hell, we getting on this commercial flight,
right,
connecting in wherever, playing in front of nobody in South Haven, Mississippi, and you don't have to come because your dad said you don't have to?
And I also would think that the league, I would think that the league would want to interject and say, hey, we want him going on the road to these other G League cities.
They can want whatever they want. They can't do anything about it.
No, I get it, but it's we know he should be playing in these games, that he needs the development. I don't know. I would put pressure on the Lakers saying, what are we doing?
I would be much more impressed. I don't even care about what the NBA wants. I don't think they have a say in it. I'm just saying this is what Bronny should want. No, I need to play. I need to be a part of something. I need to be a part of a team. I need to be normal. Even when Michael Jordan went and played minor league baseball, he bought a nice bus, but he was still on the bus. He was on the bus with AA baseball players. He was a part of that. He didn't say, I'm going to fly from Memphis to Birmingham to Chattanooga. He was a part of it.
Yeah.
I think it's very important to be a part of something.
I agree.
Every time you walk in the big locker room, nobody thinks you belong there because you don't. And every time you walk in the G League locker room, everybody's looking at you like, yo, what are you even doing here? You couldn't get on the plane with us, but now you're back to take my starting spot for this home game. It's just not good. It's just, I don't understand why anybody thinks it's good. I don't want to say they're going to ruin this young man because he's the son of a billionaire. And by all accounts, is an impressive young guy. He'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be okay.
He'll be fine in life.
Yes.
If you want to worry about 19-year-olds, call big brothers, big sisters and see if you can help out. Bronny will be fine in that regard. But this is not good for his development. It's not good for his reputation. Mm-hmm. It's not good for anything. We shouldn't be talking about him right now, and we are once again. And I know it's my show. I could ignore if I wanted to. It's a big story.
It is a big story.
It's a big story, a big national headline, and I think just the latest misstep in the Bronny James story. They just, I imagine being LeBron James as a father is just as complicated, if not more so, than being anybody as a father. We all make mistakes and poor decisions. Tom Brady was just talking about it earlier this week. But this just seems so obviously not good. Just go be a part of something. Or don't. But to just part-time it everywhere, just part-time, I don't
think that it's going to work long term.
I don't think you're going to never fit in this locker room, and you're never going to fit in this locker room. And when you're part of two teams, technically, and you don't fit in any locker room, well, then you're not really a part of anything. We come back. Giannis Antetokounmpo figured out how to get the Bucks back to their winning ways. He just got to go score all the points. He got 59 last night in a victory over Detroit. The subplot, Ron Holland, my God, you have never seen somebody more nervous take free throws than you watched this rookie last night. I'll show it to you next. Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South.
Goldberg announces he's going to have a retirement match in 2025, and he said this on College Game Day.
We know you're trying to ride the coattails because the 2025 is supposed to be the year of John Cena. Goldberg, I have a message for you, my guy. We don't care about your retirement match. Your retirement match was 3 years ago. Go somewhere. Go away.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
There's no greater gift in the NBA right now than the gift of Ja Morant highlights. The highlight of Ja Morant going reverse 360 generated 161 million views in the first 24 hours.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzby, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays and the evenings and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Final score, Bucks 127, Pistons 120. That was in Fiserv Forum last night. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 59 points. That's the most for any player in the NBA this season. He was 21 of 34 from the field. He only took 2 3-pointers. He took 32 shots inside the arc. He took 17 free throws, made 16 of them. 59 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists. Turns out they figured it out finally in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
The way you win with a Giannis Antetokounmpo-led team is just let the Greek freak go take it over.
It seems like a good plan to me. By the way, I didn't even mention this in the open. Last night or yesterday, I was like screaming at these games are different. It's the NBA Cup. None of these games were NBA Cup games last night.
Bennett,
what are we doing?
You're not taking your job seriously.
No. I think we're making a mistake here. And I even saw Kevin O'Connor say something about it's weird going from NBA Cup games one night to non-NBA.
Of course it is. Everything about it's weird.
No, it needs to just be
it needs to be a thing that's happening.
Yeah, because I just assumed it was all NBA Cup games.
You shouldn't watch NBA Cup games on a Tuesday and then turn on the NBA on a Wednesday and not see NBA Cup games, but then turn games on Friday and there's NBA Cup games.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Let's
make it a week.
I don't understand it.
Like, if we want to take a break, then we can do okay, group play is this week, and then we, maybe skip a couple days, and then we get into the elimination rounds after that. But let's make them, back to back to back. I don't understand the breaks.
I don't understand it. Just let's speak.
I like the cup.
I'm fine with the cup, but I shouldn't have to wonder, is tonight a cup game or not?
That's what I'm saying.
I shouldn't have to look that up.
I agree.
It's my same approach. It's my same issue I run into with airport parking. Do you know how I airport park? I go straight to the top.
Mm-hmm.
You ever want to find my car at Memphis International? Go straight to the top.
So you can remember where you are.
I'm on the 7th floor, straight at the top, for 2 reasons. One, you waste a lot of time going on the 3rd floor and driving around looking for that one spot that's open. Then you go to the 4th floor, you drive around, you're looking for one spot's open. Wasting time. Go straight to the top. There's always going to be a spot open at the top. Go straight there. That's number 1. Number 2, you never have to think about it. You fly back home. You've been gone for 3 days or 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. Where did I park my car? Am I on the 3rd floor? No, I'm on the top. I'm always at the top. I don't have to think about it. I get off the plane. I don't have to think about nothing. I'm tired of thinking.
Yeah.
And then here comes the NBA, making me think.
It did.
Is this a cup game? Is it not a cup game? I got to think too much.
Yeah,
I don't want to think like that.
Like Jacob texted me and said that the cup games are every Tuesday and Friday. And
I don't have.
I don't subscribe to that.
No,
I don't subscribe to that.
It'd be like if your kids, if the car rider line at school had a different time every day.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-mm.
What time do I need to be there? Don't make it 2:55 one day, 3:07 the next. Don't make me ask you every day, what time do I need to be in the car rider line? Be consistent with it.
Yeah.
Don't make me wake up every day and
It's
being like,
cup week.
are we playing cup games or not? I don't want to have to think about it.
It's
I should
cup
just know
week.
it.
That should be the moniker.
It's cup week.
It's cup week. Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith should be on TV talking about it's cup week.
Mm-hmm.
In reality, it's just kind of cup week.
Are we going to lead this charge? I feel like we're the first ones to kind of jump out. I mean, I did say I saw Kevin O'Connor say something about it. He's got a pretty big platform.
We could be the second ones. We could be the second ones to pop out.
I think we should lead this charge.
Well, we can't lead it.
It's cup week.
Kevin O'Connor's leading it, but we can.
But I just created.
We can join him in his fight.
But I just created the slogan.
I'm happy to join him in his fight.
Week.
It's cup week. It's cup week.
Yeah.
Except it's just kind of cup week. Anyway, back to Giannis.
Yeah, that wasn't a cup game.
No cup game.
Felt big though.
Felt like a cup game.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, buddy. So Giannis is amazing. 59 points, most by player in a game this season. The story, or at least the secondary story, the sidebar, would be that Ron Holland for the Pistons, the rookie, was at the free throw line with like a second left. He just got to make one of 2. Just make one of these, and the game's over, and you don't have to play against Giannis anymore in overtime. Watch this. You've never seen somebody more nervous at a free throw line than Ron Holland was last night. Watch this.
Okay.
For the rookie Holland. Under pressure, he's
Watch his
feeling
face.
it. The 19-year-old with at least
He wants to die.
Tonight on
He
his
would rather
shoulders.
die than shoot this next free throw.
Mm-hmm.
Never comes off the line. This is where John Calipari said, by the way, he would have called a timeout when he looked at. He should have. He said he looked out there and he saw Darius Washington looking exactly like that. He said, I should have called a timeout and got him off the line and said, hey, if you miss this, they're going to say I iced you. It's on me. Go make it.
That's a good point.
Missed them both.
Both of them short.
Now we head to overtime at Fiserv.
That's mentally weak. As a mentally weak person in competition, I recognize other mentally weak people in competition.
I hate that. I don't like watching that.
That's
it does. You said it. It reminds me of the D-Wash.
You ready?
It's
you
like
ready?
the same feeling.
You ready for this? I don't want to speak in complete absolutes because, lots of twists and turns in life. That's a hard thing to ever come over. Not missing that shot, like whatever. We'll forget about that or we won't. Maybe we won't forget about that. But
if you're in that moment again.
No, I don't mean you can't get over that. Like you lost a November game on a Wednesday night to the Bucks, whatever. I mean, if that's who you are, that's hard to fix.
Yeah, and I think
if that moment gets you all messed up like that is hard to fix.
Because if you become like an important piece on your team, which he should be, he was a high draft pick. You would think that you're going to be in that situation again multiple times. Clutch free throws.
You're supposed to want to be in that situation.
Yeah.
And he does not want to. He did not want to be there.
No.
There's two types of competitors in sports, all sports. There's the person who wants to be on the free throw line to win the game. And then there's a person who does not want to be on the free throw line to win the game. There's the person who's playing shortstop with bases loaded. You're up by 1 run. And they're saying, hit this to me, hit this to me. And there's the other person who's always saying, please, God, don't hit this to me. There's somebody who wants to stand over the 5-foot putt to win the Masters. And there's somebody who is terrified to ever be in that position. And I am more like Ron Holland.
Yeah, it was basic. He was basically Ben Simmons anywhere on the floor that's not right under the rim.
He didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be there. Kobe would kill to be there.
Yeah.
Right? Steph wants to be there. He didn't want to be there. That's a mindset thing. You see it in golf all the time. You can watch a weak-minded individual sit on the practice range and just take him to the first tee. Hey, we're playing this hole for $1,000. Let's go. Oh, and I got 40 people going to stand around and watch you. Let's go. Put it on the tee.
Yeah.
Can't do it. Can't handle it. That's who Ron Holland is.
I was hurting for him.
That's tough to watch. It's just a regular season game, not even a cup game. So it is what it is. But when I saw him last night, that would be, if we were going through the evaluation process pre-draft, and I knew that about him, that would change my evaluation of him. I don't care how athletic you are, how talented you are. If you aren't more mentally strong than that, you will never be great. You cannot be great being like that, having that mindset. He was terrified to be there. I will speak in an absolute about that. It's impossible to be great if you are terrified of that moment. He might not ever be great.
Damn.
Number 2.
You know who is great, though? Victor Wembanyama.
It appears that way.
Woo!
It appears that way.
He got 50 points last night in the Spurs 139-130 victory over the Wizards. So, yeah, it was just the Wizards. But still, you got to play who you play. 18 of 29 from the field, 8 of 16 from 3. 50 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. And Victor Wembanyama last night becomes the 4th youngest player in NBA history to score 50 points in a game. Do you know the other 3?
The 4th youngest player in it, because he's the youngest center ever. So 4th youngest player in it. So I know it's not a big.
There's one on the list that you might remember it, but you'll be like, how does that happen?
Okay, so 4th youngest player in NBA history to score 50. Has Ja had a 50-point game? I know we've had 40-point games. I don't know if Ja's had a 50.
Either way, he would not have been the
He's
youngest.
not on the list.
He would not be on the list.
Okay.
These people were all younger than Ja before Ja even got to the NBA.
Okay, LeBron.
Yes, LeBron James was 20 years, 80 days, and LeBron is the 2nd youngest player to ever score 50 points in a game.
I'll say KD.
You won't get the other ones.
Because they're older.
Well, the youngest player ever to get 50 in a game, you will never get. You might remember it when I say it, but you have not thought of this person in 10 years.
Because I was going to say, like, Bill Russell.
No. It's all modern.
It's all modern players.
Stuff.
Okay.
I'm going to give you Devin Booker. Devin Booker got 50 when he was 20 years, 145. He was 20 years, 145 days. Wemby, by the way, is 20 years, 314 days.
Yeah.
So that's why he's 4th. So the number 2 on the list, 4 youngest players to ever get 50 in a game. Number 2 is LeBron James. Number 3 is Devin Booker. Number 4 is Victor Wembanyama. Who is number 1? This person scored 50 points in a game. They were 20 years old, 52 days.
Is it a star?
No.
It's not a star. Is it East or West? Is that giving it away?
I think this guy played in the West, but I don't even remember.
Okay, I remember I remember there was a Grizzlies game that night. This could be completely wrong. Is it Terrence Ross?
No.
Because he had a 50-point game, and I can remember
And this would have been in the East. He would have been playing for an Eastern Conference team.
Okay.
I'm trying to find the game right now.
Okay. Eastern. Okay, I got my Eastern Conference teams pulled up. I'm gonna say, it wasn't a star. That's the problem, dude. I mean, I'm gonna have trouble just Michael Redd.
Nope. I'll give you one more guess. You're never going to get this.
Okay, one more guess. Give me.
You ready for this? It happened. Today's the anniversary of it.
What?
It happened 15 years ago today.
15 years ago. Okay. All right. Okay, so 2000s.
It was November 14th, 2009. It was a Milwaukee Buck player against the Golden State Warriors.
Oh, I was close with Michael Redd. It was a Milwaukee. Oh, Brandon Jennings.
Brandon Jennings.
How about that? Boom.
What do you mean boom?
Told you I'd get it.
What do you mean boom?
That's pretty good.
55 points. 15 years ago today.
What happened to him?
Well, life's hard, Bennett. Life's hard.
He had, because I can remember that, and there was a moment, right, when it was like, this dude might be a star in this league, and it just never did happen.
Well, that was a moment. Scored 55 points at the age of 20 years, 52 days against the Warriors, and I guess it was all downhill after that. It did
not take 17 hints. That was 2 hints. It was an Eastern team, and the Bucks did give it away. Because I knew it was going to be some random, and I remember him having a huge game.
Yeah, he's started his career with the Bucks, finished his career with the Bucks in 2018, and he remains the youngest player in history to score 50 points in an NBA game. But Victor Wembanyama is now on the list as well.
And you know what's just a completely buried story from that game? Jordan Poole had 42 points in that game. Dude, if you're Jordan Poole, do you not see that and just say, man, that's
you mean last night?
In that same game, Jordan Poole had 42 points in that Wizards Spurs game. If you're Jordan Poole, don't you got to look in the mirror and say, damn, maybe I'm the problem. I got 42 points in a loss.
Well, I think Draymond tried to tell him he was the problem in his own way.
It's just empty numbers.
Evidence that he is in Washington is evidence that he is on some level a problem. Sure. Anyway, congrats to Wemby. Congrats to Wemby. He ain't no Brandon Jennings, but he's doing all right.
I guess not, yeah.
50-point game last night, the first probably of many.
Number 3.
Jake Paul, Mike Tyson held their
it's pulled me in.
Final press conference before their showdown tomorrow night at AT&T Stadium down in Texas.
I'm in. I will be seated and watching.
I'm in.
It's so dumb. When this was announced years ago at this point, right? It's been forever because they had to postpone it.
They had to postpone it because Mike had a medical emergency on a plane. He talked about this yesterday. Did you hear what he said?
Mm-mm.
He there was an ulcer type situation. It was a real thing.
Yeah.
And he said he was scared of he was terrified of dying on the plane. He didn't want to die on the plane. He would much prefer to die in the ring. I don't like it when people start talking about dying in the ring because he might. He could.
You think he's going to die in the ring?
I don't think he's going to die in the ring, but I do think that 58-year-olds are not supposed to be in the ring.
Mm-hmm. I have a feeling exactly how this is going to go.
You tell me.
I think it's gonna be fun early. I think there'll be some punches thrown, and Mike will have a few big misses, and you're like, oh, whoa, he's got the punch, it looks good. And then as it goes on, he's gonna get tired. He's not gonna be able to run around the ring with Jake Paul, and I don't think Jake Paul's gonna knock out Mike Tyson. I just think that it's gonna be a Jake Paul victory. And
well, they're not. They were originally going to wear really heavy gloves and headgear, and they're not. It's pretty standard boxing. I mean, there's no headgear. I mean, they're going to hit each other. These guys throw big punches.
Can Mike land the punch? We'll see. I just think he's going to get too tired to be able to.
I don't know what to make of it, honestly. Although there are some context clues that aren't encouraging if you're hoping to, as a child of the 80s, see an icon of the 80s, perhaps the biggest sports icon of the 80s. If you're hoping to see him have some triumphant return to the ring at the age of 58, there's some context clues that aren't encouraging. The most obvious one being that Jake Paul is a significant favorite in the fight. You go to the betting markets and it's Jake Paul minus 180, Jake Paul minus 190. I mean, that's the equivalent of hey, it's the Yankees with Garrett Cole on the mound against the Pirates and their fourth best pitcher. Yankees minus 190. Like that's what we're dealing with here.
Yeah. Like I'm already going to watch. I cannot fall for that because I so bad want to put money on Mike Tyson. Like everyone does.
Everybody does. That's my concern is that the betting markets, they understand human habits. Who has more money, 45-year-old Mike Tyson fans or 25-year-old Jake Paul fans?
Yeah.
Most 45-year-olds have way more money than most 25-year-olds. I don't have the same life I have at 25 that I have at 45. All right? The betting markets understand where the money is at. And they are begging people to bet on Mike Tyson.
Of course. Everyone wants Mike to win. Like Jake Paul's the villain. And granted, I don't think he's like as big of a villain as maybe we make him. He plays a villain, but like people love him.
I'm impressed by those guys.
Oh, dude. We've talked about this before.
I know people hate them. I just don't. I'm like fascinated by them.
They know what they're doing. They are very good at what they do.
Like excellent.
Yes.
At what they do. Like incredible businessmen.
Yeah. Early on, because we've been talking about them forever on this show, and early on, I was like, yeah, I mean, whatever. It doesn't make sense to me. It makes sense to me now. Like they're just good at it.
I don't. Yeah. I don't understand it. Like if both these guys would have come to me when they were 17 and been like, "Here's our plan," I'd have been like, "What are you?
Come on."
I'd have been like, "What are you even talking about?"
No way.
Right? I'd have said, "Shut up." But that's just me not understanding where the world is at.
Right.
For people a generation younger. I do my best to keep up. I listen to the new music and stuff. I'd look at TMZ every day. But I could not have envisioned those two people becoming what they've become. They clearly had a plan and a goal, and they executed it, I would imagine, beyond even their wildest aspirations. But I could not have seen this. So I don't hate them. I'm fascinated by them. These are just normal people from middle America, and they became massive stars and incredibly wealthy. I'm not going to say there haven't been missteps along the way, but I'm more fascinated by them than I am turned off by them.
Okay, I wanted to bring this up because King Meeks just said it in the chat, and like you've seen a ton of people bring this up, which is why won't Jake Paul fight real boxers? Why is he just doing these?
Well, there's an obvious answer to that. The money is in the wins.
The undefeated streak.
Well, he's not undefeated. He has lost once.
Did he?
Yeah, he lost a decision.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it's just a different version of the Floyd Mayweather approach. Although Floyd Mayweather was quite literally one of the greatest boxers of all time, but Floyd was very strategic in the fights that he made. He would push off the Manny Pacquiao fight for years, or at least couldn't reach an agreement to get it done until Pacquiao was just a little, maybe a year or two past his prime. All right, let's make this fight now. I'm still in my prime. You're not. Let's make this fight. He saw what Canelo was about to be. He went and got Canelo early. It's his approach to Manny Pacquiao and Canelo Alvarez were completely opposites. He waited for Manny to age out and then took that fight. He knew Canelo was coming. He said, let me go get him now. It'd be the equivalent of like, let me go face Paul Skeens as a rookie as opposed to in year 4. Because in year 4, he's going to be a monster, right? So he went and got Canelo when he was younger. So then he was like, yeah, I beat Canelo Alvarez. Yeah, but you beat Canelo Alvarez when he was a double-A fighter, not when he was in the major leagues, to continue with the analogy. But Floyd, better than maybe anybody ever, understood the money is in me talking crazy and winning. People, me talking crazy, and then people showing up and buying pay-per-views to watch me lose, to watch me get what's coming to me. But I never get it because I'm always in a position to win. I never put myself in a real risky proposition. That's Floyd Mayweather's entire career. Jake Paul's just replicating it. Why doesn't he fight real fighters? Because he can't beat real fighters. He might can someday because he is a better fighter than I think the people who are totally dismissive of him suggest. Like, he's a legitimate, he'd get in a boxing ring with you and he'd beat your brains in, and mine too. But he can't go fight real boxers who have been training their whole lives. You couldn't put him in a ring with a top 10 fighter in his weight class right now. He'd get picked apart, hurt maybe. But in Jake Paul's defense, I've heard him talk about this before. He makes a fair point. He said, I've only fought like 10 times. Go look at any fighter's 10. Any great fighter is not fighting anybody their first 10 fights of their career. So like his thing is like, if you want to, go look at Mike Tyson's first 10 fights. Mm-hmm. Why are you picking on me for not fighting? But he's fighting, at least Mike Tyson was fighting other boxers. They fight other legitimate boxers. Mm-hmm. Jake Paul is mostly fighting YouTubers and retired MMA guys. And just people whose primary life has not been about boxing. And in the time when he does do that and gets maybe the biggest boxing star of our lifetime to get in a ring, he's 58 years old. Jake Paul's 31 years younger than him. And ultimately, that's probably the difference.
I wonder if it changes after this because this is as big as it gets, right? It's Jake Paul versus an absolute legend. Like, you're not going to be able to find someone like Mike Tyson to do this with again.
You can find somebody to argue with Jake Paul for a few months and then get into a ring with him, and we'll do this whole thing over again.
But this, as big as this one, that's why
this might be the biggest. I mean, they are expecting 65,000 people at AT&T Stadium. Did you see some law firm bought a ticket package? Ringside ticket package, $2 million.
Damn.
6 seats. The package is $2 million. 2 of the seats are literally on the ring, like on the apron.
Oh, wow.
Like you're sitting there like you're
in it.
Like you're the guy with the bell.
Yeah.
It will be the closest a fan has ever sat to a ring for a sanctioned boxing match in the state of Texas. They had to approve this. So 2 of the seats are actually on the ring. The other 4 are on the front row. You get a pre-fight meet and greet with Tyson and Jake Paul and the whole deal. But it's $2 million in a law firm, personal injury law firm in Texas, bought it. So that's where we're at. 65,000 people are paying $2 million. I looked on StubHub. If you want to get in the lower level, AT&T, it's $1,000.
Damn.
So now if you just want to get in a building, you could do that for like 60.
Okay.
Way up at the top.
Okay.
Yeah, if you just wanted to go, you can go.
That's kind of cool. Yeah.
So they are expecting a big walk-up crowd of people who just say, let's just go.
Let's just go.
Let's just go. Let's just say, so we could say we were there. But it's going to be a spectacle. But my fear is that I remember going in the Tyson Lewis fight, and everybody was like, man, it's Mike Tyson. Because he's this larger-than-life thing for people my age. If you didn't live through it, you can't understand it. He was the biggest thing in sports for a period of time. And then his story was and then he was arrested and convicted and in jail and then out of jail. And then he wins the title again. And then he bites Evander Holyfield's ear off. And then he's fighting Lennox Lewis. Just all of it's crazy. But I remember the week of that fight, and everybody was like, it's Mike Tyson, Iron Mike. We grew up playing Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Great game.
And then you would go talk to the boxing people, and they'd be like, oh, no. This is not going to be close. Lennox Lewis is going to kill him. He can't do it anymore. And that was 25 years ago. All right?
He's almost a senior citizen now.
So he looks great when he's in a ring hitting pads with a partner. All right? But that ain't the same as boxing.
Right.
It's not the same as taking a punch. It's not the same as moving around that much. I'm not 58, but I am 47, and I can tell you when you're 47, you can't do the things you used to do when you were 37, and you sure as hell can't do the things you used to do when you was 27. All right?
Yeah.
LeBron James is 39. When he's 47, he will not be able to do what he does right now, and when he's 58, not even close.
Right.
Mike Tyson's 58 years old. So my concern is that that's going to show up. But I'm in.
You got to land one.
That's what they said about the Lennox Lewis fight. Literally the exact same thing they would say. Just got to land one. That's fine. People used to say that. I remember Floyd Mayweather, Arturo Gatti getting ready to fight. And Arturo Gatti had become sort of a boxing thing because he's getting in these wars with Mickey Ward. They put him on HBO and they just beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
It was great. And so they were like, listen, Arturo Gatti's a star. Let's put him in a ring with Floyd Mayweather. Floyd's like, I'll take that fight. Go find the YouTube pre-fight interview someday. They're all like, and Arturo Gatti, the big puncher from wherever, and knocked out this and that. And they're like, and Arturo Gatti's like, I only have to land one punch. That's it. I got to land one. And Floyd Mayweather's sitting there. He's like, yeah, that's it. Yeah, if you hit me one time, that might be enough. But, bro, you can't hit me. You're a club fighter. I'm the best in the world, and you're a club fighter. Congrats on getting famous, but you don't belong in a ring with me. So, yeah, you only need to land one, but you can't. You won't. and he didn't. Floyd just peppered him to death.
Yeah.
It's true. If Mike Tyson landed one, like if you told Jake Paul stand there and let Mike take a clean shot at him, he'd knock him out.
Yeah.
You got to land the shot.
Got to land it.
And he's 58 years old.
Come on, Mike. Come on, Iron Mike. Let's go.
Like, I'm going to be there. Like, my kids are fired up about it. Like,
Yeah.
we'll have a party tomorrow night.
Yeah.
We're going to have a party tomorrow night at the house. But there's something not great. Just the idea of watching a 58-year-old Mike Tyson get beat up. You know,
Do it for the old guys, Mike.
It's just
Do it for the old guys, Mike.
I don't think anybody my age wants to see that, but we'll have our eyes on it. Okay. Netflix tomorrow night.
Number 4.
A small town in Alabama is under fire.
Uh-oh.
They've painted their water tower, and they chose a color pattern that don't sit so well in the state of Alabama, especially after the Crimson Tide went to Knoxville this year already. And lost. Just weeks after the Alabama Crimson Tide go to Knoxville and lose to the Vols, some people woke up about 40 miles outside of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, in the state of Alabama, and they saw their new water tower. Show us what it looks like.
Oh, come on, guys. Can't do that.
What are we doing?
Should bring that trash to Bama.
What are we doing? They painted it Rocky Top.
You can't do that.
It's the checkered end zone. In a small town Alabama water tower.
Someone's going to destroy their water supply. Like, you got to be careful. You already had the guy that poisoned all the damn trees.
If we've already got one dude who will poison all of Auburn's trees, what do you think they'll do to this thing?
Yeah, man.
You going to mess around and not have water?
Somebody get a bucket of paint and go fix this.
How does this happen?
Okay. Do we assume it's Vols? I mean, it's the checkered board. Like, it's got to be Vols fans.
They say
like it's just coincidence.
I mean, obviously, there's been a million complaints already. Like, this is a big... Of course. In this town, this is the thing they're arguing about today. They're done with the border, okay?
Yeah, dude.
In this small town, Alabama, the border has now gone to the back burner. Inflation is now on the back burner. Suddenly, they don't care nothing about transgender.
Nah, man, their lives are church and Bama.
now they're like, all right, we'll get back to the transgender southern border inflation problems later, all right? But now we got a new one, and it's this checkered, orange and white checkered water tower in small town Alabama. People are going crazy. And the folks in charge of it, they said, it's a coincidence. We didn't think it was we didn't know nothing. And this is exactly like what we talk about all the time. There's got to be somebody in every room where big decisions are made, where you say, hey, just take a look at this. Tell me what you think. And somebody should immediately look at that and do the exact same thing everybody seemed to do yesterday when it went viral. Mm-hmm. You cannot, in the state of Alabama, paint as stupid as this must seem to some people, you just can't, in the state of Alabama, paint your water tower to look like the Tennessee Vols.
You can't do it.
Could you even do that in Memphis?
Oh, I think you'd catch some.
You would 100%. You would 100% catch flack though. If there was a big water tower in downtown Memphis painted like that, people would go crazy. You can put tigers all over the city and people won't go crazy. Mm-hmm. If you put that water tower in downtown Memphis, people go crazy. In downtown Memphis ain't even small town Alabama. We are in Tennessee, much as we'd like to not be sometimes.
And I hate those colors as much as anybody. But you know what? I think we are in the state of Tennessee. I think Vols fans are able to I think Vols fans should be allowed to have a peaceful existence in this city. I do. I used to not feel that way, and I'm trying to change my ways.
That's rich coming from a Capitol stormer. Now you just want peace.
I'm just trying. Yeah, I'm trying to change my ways.
Let you win one election, and now you want peace.
Change my ways.
Now you want peace.
Yeah.
Where was your peace 4 years ago?
Yeah, we need to. What Joe say? We need to take the temperature down. We need to take the temperature down. Let's take down the temperature.
That's crazy.
That's insane. Yeah, you can't do that.
There's got to be somebody in every room who just says, "Oh no, I don't know how we got to this point, but like you guys know we can't do this." Like they could have showed me that. I'm not even from Alabama, and somebody could have just emailed me that and be like, "Hey, GP, I know you got opinions on things. We're in small town Alabama. What do you think about this?" I'd say, "Are you?"
That's Rocky Top, bro.
That's Rocky Top, bro. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Are you lost your mind? You ready? Go paint it that way. You ready? In a week, you're gonna have to paint it again.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the penis court they tried to do in FedEx Forum. It's similar. Somebody should have recognized the penis on the court and said, we can't put a penis on our court.
Right.
Instead, they had to put it out there for the world to see. I'm the one that had to say, you got a penis on your court, and then they painted it. Yeah. Right?
Right.
I could have spotted the penis on the court. I did spot it immediately.
Yeah.
I'm good at that. And I would have done this one too. I could have spotted this. I could have told them this was a problem within seconds.
Yeah.
They didn't ask. I don't think people ask me enough
I don't think so.
for
either,
approval.
JP.
I think I need to be asked for approval a little more than I am because I could have put a stop to this. I would have nicked this in the bud.
Yeah. Fix it.
1 month from today, that water tower will not look like that. You agree?
1 week from today.
1 hour from now.
Dude, people are going to start shooting at that thing.
They really will.
Yes.
Like a drunk Alabama fan.
I'm telling you.
You're one more Alabama loss away from that water tower getting shot up.
Let them lose this weekend. Let them lose this weekend and see what happens.
Let
I don't know if they're even
Alabama
playing this weekend.
miss the playoff and Tennessee get in, and that water tower going to be Swiss cheese.
Somebody needs to get a bucket of paint
Swiss
now.
cheese. That water tower going to get shot up, buddy. You let Tennessee make the playoff and Alabama miss it.
Yep.
Water tower's in jeopardy. That water tower better get a bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
Number 5.
A new study, Big Ben Bennett, a new study shows that abbreviations in text messages make you come across as insincere. For example, if you were trying to... Jessica Bitts is not going to be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
She's going to do the Jessica Bitts show with CJ Herbert, then she's off to New Orleans. So we don't have our normal second segment guest right now.
Yep.
And imagine you sent me a text message. This is what the study says. And it says, hey, GP, I know that Katie Mox works for CBS Sports HQ, and she's terrific on gambling and, and it's a big football weekend. We don't usually have a spot for that, but with Jess out, we need to fill the spot anyway. For what it's worth, I think she would be great. If you put, for what it's worth, the study says, I would find your text message sincere. But if you put FWIW, abbreviation for what it's worth, I would find your text message less sincere. Does that make sense to you?
It does. I think there's levels to it, though. It depends on the word and where you use it. Like, for what it's worth, I don't get that one. Like that.
I actually find that one to be a pretty convenient abbreviation.
Yeah, everyone does that.
Everyone knows it, and you're actually saving some letters.
Let me give you a better example.
Okay.
If you say something like, hey, I'm booking this person for tomorrow. They're coming on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Really excited about it. I think it's going to be great. And my response was K.
That would make me think you don't care.
Right. It's me acknowledging. Like, okay, we got it. We're good. But there's something about it. There's something about K.
But that's where the thumbs up comes into play, because I think the thumbs up has largely replaced the K.
Mm-hmm. I think K is disrespectful.
It is disrespectful. But the thumbs up is the thumbs up. Like if you send me that exact same thing and I hit you with a thumbs up, aren't we good?
We're totally good.
But the K would make it be like, all right, Bennett, shut up. I'm trying to sleep.
Yes, K.
But the thumbs up, I think we're good. I think we should be. Can we agree on that? Because my wife and I had a conversation about this recently.
Yep.
She texted me something, and it was like something positive, something good, and I just hit her with a thumbs up. And I thought we were good.
Yep.
And she was like,
that's all I got. That's all you got.
Well, like later on in the day, it was like she was like, you didn't even respond to my text. I was like, I did. I thought I did respond, didn't I? I thought a thumbs up. She was like, yeah, but that's not a response. I said, thumbs up is a response.
Thumbs up
is a response.
Thumbs up is I agree.
I got you.
I got you. I acknowledge this. I see it. Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you're saying. Like, if it's something exciting, like great news, something like that, then maybe, yeah, you need to do the love, do the heart. Do the heart.
The heart is, perhaps I could have done a heart instead of a thumbs up. Yeah, but like we cannot live in a world. I can't live in a world where just all of a sudden, November 2024, after you've given me the thumbs up emoji, you're going to tell me now I can't use it effectively.
Yeah.
Like it ain't good enough.
No, it serves a purpose.
It serves a purpose.
I'll tell you another one that I think is kind of disrespectful. Thanks, THX.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Just type out thanks.
Now, I don't do that.
THX is like, okay, leave me alone.
I'm a stickler for, I don't use abbreviations really hardly ever.
I do.
I spell my words. I use capitalization. I use punctuation. I want my text message to be clean.
Yeah, I know that about you. That's because you got a journalism background.
I want my tweets to be clean.
Yeah, I know.
I see people tweet all the time.
That ain't how the world operates, though.
And it's all lower caps or all upper caps or no periods and commas.
Oh, I
don't like it.
No,
I don't like it.
Periods are in text and social media periods. We don't need them. We don't need them.
I'm not comfortable with it.
And in fact, periods.
It's not okay.
Periods are sometimes look like you're being a jerk. Like they look like you're being curt. They just
Hold on. Now, I'm writing complete sentences in text messages, and people think I'm being rude.
No, periods look like you're being
spell.
Periods look like you're being curt. It looks like you're saying something in an aggressive manner. Like it does. Like period, end of story.
No, it's not the period, end of story. No,
yes,
a period is a period.
It is.
A period just finishes a thought.
Yeah, no, it's
if
like,
I want to say period, end of story, I type out period, end of story.
When I see it, I'm like, oh God. Like
now, you can't look at me for using periods like that. That's not right. That's not right.
Who's got time for that, dude?
I watch people like their Facebook message, status updates and tweets, and I see all these people and they don't use periods. And then sometimes they'll use 3 periods. It'll just be like, so little Jenny is graduating high school this year. Mm-hmm. First day of senior year.
Yeah.
Period. Like 5 periods. I'm like, wait.
Oh, that just means that like.
No, that's not the ellipses. And that's another one I struggle with. It's 3. It's 3.
What do you mean?
If you want to use ellipses, dot.
Yeah.
It's 3. 1, 2, 3. It's not 4. It's not 2. It's not 8 right next to each other. It's 3 spaced out.
Oh, see, I'm very liberal with that.
I don't like that.
I'll go crazy. I'll do 7.
I know
care.
people like you. I know people like you, and I hate it. There's a way to do it. Let's do it right. I spell all my words. If I misspell something, I say this one all the time. People will tweet something, misspell it, and just leave it up all day. I can't. I immediately delete. I can't live with errors in my life, Bennett.
I get why you are that way because you're a journalist, but that ain't how we operate.
I know I'm different. I know I'm different. I know I can't hold everybody to the standard.
Yeah.
But I'm judging all of you.
Also, you got character limits on like Twitter.
That is a reasonable time to abbreviate. That's one where I might use a B/C for because.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to.
Who types out because though?
No
one types out because.
If I've got space, I do. If I've got space, I do.
No.
If I got space, I do.
BC totally appropriate.
I want to type my words, Bennett.
That's like BC totally appropriate in a text. No, there's no reason why you can't use that instead of because. That's not disrespectful.
I don't like it
at all.
I type my words.
Okay.
Other thing is I do most of my texting on my computer, so I'm just typing. It's not a big deal.
Oh, I got you.
I'm just this. Most of my texting's done right here. I just. Like if I don't text you back immediately, it might be because I'm waiting just to get back to my computer so I can do this. I like to do this.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's true that people find you insincere if you use abbreviations. I just know that I'm going to type my words out completely till the day I die.
Okay.
I'm going to go down typing words.
Good on you.
I'm going to go down typing full words, Bennett.
Not I.
Different approaches in life.
Yep.
Be back with GP's Carry Up.
Every time you go to Miami, you can go see, there's a statue of me there.
No, I don't look nothing like that thing, man. Look,
I would have been offended.
Look at that. That is UTA.
Oh, look. Hey, y'all got to get that screenshot, man. Put that on the.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
It's the top 5 worst teams in the NFL. I think the Panthers are the worst team in the NFL.
I got the Saints number 1. Ha! Let's put the Aints up there. They're terrible.
I'll take the Titans as my worst team in the NFL. If they played Will Levis, they're for sure the worst team. Maybe in NFL history. Might be worse than the 0-16 Lions if they play Will Levis.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rate.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Justin Timberlake. I'm bringing sexy back. The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. Forum Saturday, November 23rd. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now. For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
A whole bunch of stuff, but we mostly focused on the NBA, where the Grizzlies lost in Los Angeles last night. Got outscored in the fourth quarter. Final score 128-123. Lakers on top. LeBron James, triple-double, third straight at the age of 39. He's now the oldest player ever to have 3 straight triple-doubles in the NBA. So the Grizzlies dropped to 7-5 and are now off to San Francisco, where they will play Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors tomorrow night. Another nationally televised game. Vince Williams is expected to make his season debut, so the injury report hopefully have at least one less name than it usually does. We'll get you ready for that one tomorrow night.
What's today's biggest game?
Thursday night football.
Okay.
Bennett, we're on Thursday night. Hey, I didn't even, as we were talking about Giannis going for 59 and Ron Holland missing those free throws, I didn't realize in real time that really cost you last night. You had Detroit plus 6.5. They lost by 7 in overtime.
Son of a...
If Ron Holland makes one free throw, you're a winner. Instead, Bennett, you're a loser. You're a loser because of Ron Holland.
Not as big a loser as him.
Not as big a loser as him. 164, 164, and 4. That's your record now. You're negative 17.8 units. Tonight, we got the Commanders and the Eagles. Kick scheduled for 7:15. We're doing it at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Watch it on Prime Video. Philadelphia -4. The total is 49.5. How you going to act?
This is tough. This one's tough. I want to take the Eagles, but I also have a feeling that like Nick Sirianni is going to do something. He tends to do weird things in these situations. Commanders coming off a loss.
Jaden Daniels. Rookie sensation.
He's been great.
QBR is 71.2. That ranks 4th in the entire NFL.
Give me the Commanders.
Bennett said take the road team.
I think we're gonna. It's gonna be a field goal will decide this one.
Bennett says a field goal will decide it.
Yeah.
So he wants the Commanders +4 on the road with Jaden Daniels, the rookie quarterback. Kick at 7:15. Prime Video is where you can watch it.
What are we watching on TV?
You know what? Netflix isn't only carrying the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight tomorrow night. They've done like a lead-up documentary series to it.
Yeah.
You seen any of it?
I haven't.
I think I heard it was interesting.
I mean, I've seen like clips.
I've seen clips.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll dive in. It's 3 episodes. One's 42 minutes. The next one's 38. The third one is 32. They're trending on Netflix, which is another indication tomorrow night's going to be a spectacle, if nothing else. There's going to be a big audience for this. Again, they're expecting 65,000 at AT&T Stadium and literally tens of millions of people around the world to stream it at Netflix.com. So if you want to watch the build-up to the fight, 3-part docuseries, it's on Netflix right now.
What's the best thing we've read?
I don't know if it's the best, but I updated the top 25 and 1 this morning, as I do every morning during the season. And I just sort of used last night's schedule to make a point that I've made before about there's too many total mismatches in college basketball. Last night, there were 7 ranked teams in action, and the average point spread in those games was 27.3. The average margin of victory in those games, and the ranked teams won every one of them, was 31. Do you know, by the way, what the biggest point spread in the history of the NBA is? Any one game.
Any one game in the history of the NBA, I'm going to say is, I'll say 21 points.
Pretty good, Bennett.
Yeah.
21 and a half.
How about that?
It happened on March 27th, 2016. It was the Trust the Process Sixers playing at Golden State, and they were 21 and a half point favorites, or 21 and a half point underdogs.
I wonder if they covered.
The Sixers were. No, the Sixers did cover that. The Warriors won the game 117-105.
Gotcha.
But the number was 21 and a half. One of the biggest numbers we've seen, you'll remember this game, April 10th, 2024. I don't know if you'll remember this game, but it was last April, Grizzlies at Cavs. Cavs were 19 and a half point favorites. This is my point. In the history of the NBA, every team playing 82 games a year except for when we have pandemics.
Yeah.
The biggest point spread we've ever seen is 21 and a half. Most point spreads are single digits. These games are largely supposed to be competitive. They're not all, but they're supposed to be. I mean, every once in a while you'll see like a Celtics against a bad team missing 2 starters.
I got it.
It's going to be 14 or 15. But these are largely supposed to be competitive games, night after night after night. College basketball is just not. Last night, 7 ranked teams played, and the average point spread in those games was 27.3. UConn was a 37.5 point favorite in a 40-minute basketball game, which would be the equivalent of being like a 45-point favorite in an NBA game. And every high major program, every great team, plays at least 5 or 6 or even 7 of these games every season. It makes up somewhere between like 16% and 23% of your regular season schedule are total mismatch games. At what point do fans say, why am I paying full price for a season ticket package when 20% of the games are total mismatches nobody should want to watch?
Yeah, I agree with that.
This is my main argument for shrinking Division I someday, because we have too many games and too many days filled with contests where the people on one side of the court quite literally should not be on the court with the people on the other side. Last night we had 7 ranked teams playing, and every game was basically the Boston Celtics against the South Bay Lakers, with or without Bronny. We shouldn't be watching these games. They're not fun.
No.
Why are we wasting nights doing this?
Yeah, I completely agree.
It's not an indictment of UConn or anybody else specifically.
No,
it's
if you can play those games, you play them.
You're filling out a season tickets package, and your fans are buying it. It's the way you do business.
Yep.
But it's just not good for the sport.
I
Like, we
agree.
don't need these many. We don't need this many games that are totally inconsequential.
Yeah.
You could read at CBSSports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow's Friday, so we'll get ready for Grizz Warriors. Get ready for Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. It's gonna be a big night tomorrow night.
It is. I'm excited.
You get Grizz Warriors.
I like a good Friday night slate. Man. Yeah.
You telling me?
Friday night's an underrated sports night that I think should be tapped into a little bit more.
Let's just talk about this Friday night, what we're going to get. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. SmackDown.
Grizz Warriors, yeah.
The original OTC. Grizz Warriors. And how about this? SmackDown over at 9. Grizz Warriors starts at 9.
Beautiful.
I mean, this is perfect.
Glorious.
This is perfect. We deserve a night like this.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
It'd be, even better if we had a healthy basketball team. I'd like that. But, life's not perfect.
No.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Same.
If I could fast forward to tomorrow right now, I'd do it. But I'm not in charge of stuff like that. I can't even get them to fix daylight savings time.
Right.
Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll enjoy mine. We're going to meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.